Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, which is pretty much only sold on Salt Lake City right now because Bravo is on a bit of a hiatus. So I'm watching the first few episodes. And of course, Jeff Lewis Live is working his arse off and not taking any time off. Okay, I know that a lot of you haven't listened to the show because you're like, who are they talking about? And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I will play you the clip from today's Jeff Lewis Live. It happens about 35 minutes into the show. Who we thought it was all along is definitely who it is. Jeff admits it today. I was not expecting his fiance to call in at the end and defend him. And then they ran out of time to talk to him. I'm like, holy shit. So we are going to definitely talk about that, a little bit about episode 2 of Sold on Salt Lake City. And I also want to touch on something I ran out of time yesterday is the fact that Jeff wants to purchase a condo that would eventually be remodeled and then I guess sold or then put into Brogan and Shane's names. I'm like, wait, what? First of all, Brogan comes from money. I, as a parent, would rather help my own child out, maybe hire Jeff to design it, but definitely I would want it from the get-go in Brogan and Shane's names. Now it gets a little tricky because they're not legally married. I don't know how that works out. But anyways, I definitely want to chat about that. Okay. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. If you love celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis, anything else, then follow me because we definitely want to be chatting with you. Okay, here is the clip that Jade Catapretta, a comedian who's been on Jeff Lewis now probably 7-8 times. I'm not even sure. And she was in the audience at Chumpmas, which was December, was that the 20th, it seems like, in Irvine. And this is the DM, not a text like Jeff had been saying. He doesn't, a DM on Instagram that Jade Catapretta woke up and read the next morning after Chumpmas from Justin Martindale, the Chump Virus. Here it is.
So when I got that, I was like,
well, if I don't.
He wrote, hey, if you could not stand up in the middle of my set and twirl around and try to steal focus during one of my jokes, that would be great. That was completely unprofessional, and you being a comic should definitely understand that. There was a reason why I was asked to be on stage and you weren't. So when I got that, I was like, oh,
it's nasty.
And then I said,
so many thoughts. I do agree. So Jeff tells us that he tells us before this, okay, we've been talking about Chump Virus for a while. Eventually he gave us some clues that it was a he. Then he said there've been some ongoing problems, some issues. Basically he was saying that some people were saying there was like rumors that Justin was being catty. Maybe some people were saying they didn't necessarily want to be on with him on Jeff Lewis Live. I had no idea it was going to end up being Jade Catapretta. I had no idea. Now, she kind of brings up that there's this not a loving, warm and fuzzy spirit amongst comedians. So I guess I don't understand. She said specifically, so today, Jade Catapretta and Bob Guinea were on, the OG Bachelorette dude. But she says he's been shit talking her for years, okay? That Justin calls her being gay for clout, because I don't know if this is the first lesbian relationship she's in, but she admits she was straight or bi, whatever. Now she's in a lesbian relationship. I don't love that at all. I didn't love the last DM. I do think it does seem different because she knows, it's like, did she stand up? I wasn't at Chumpmas this year. So did she stand up and kind of go along with it, trying to be nice? She says everyone around her, all the other chumps at the table, I'm assuming, were already being rude. Like they already knew about this feud. Whatever was said in the green room, apparently he was talking trash in the green room, maybe. She says she was being very nice and professional. So maybe she was standing up and kind of, waving to the crowd. And I've seen people do that. Kelly Dodd has stood up and waved. I don't remember if Shannon did, but that all makes sense. I don't think it has anything to do with if she's as famous as them, as Evan, who is Justin's fiance, who I've met them both a couple of times. I think they're both so nice. Do I definitely think Justin has a catty side? Yes. I think that's his, and not to me personally, or that he said anything to me personally. I have no experience of that. I'm just saying, as a comedian, he definitely has a more big personality than Evan. I feel like Evan always seems quiet, whatever. I was really shocked that Evan called in. I was really shocked. And I absolutely do agree. I think the DM, sorry, I think it was absolutely unnecessary. I don't think that it's unusual for someone that's being talked about to stand up and just kind of wave to the audience, especially at a Chumpmas type event. Like that doesn't offend me at all. I think I've seen enough comedians. I never have famous people in the audience with me, but if they were talking about someone, it'd be normal for them to stand up and wave and say hi. Now, she admits she pulled her pants down, but he was also talking about OnlyFans, or hers isn't even OnlyFans. It's called something else. Or is it OnlyFans? Whatever it is. But he was talking about that. So she showed her butt a little bit. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. We are going to open up the phones early today. It can be about anything, advice, the condo, the Justin and Jade of it all. Stacy B says, I was understanding Evan's point of view until he said so-called comedian. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like the thought that he might have flipped off her fiance. Like her fiance has nothing to do with this. I didn't like if Justin put his hand in her face. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a tall guy. So that can be whatever's. Laura S says the DM was catty, but I didn't think it was aggressive like Jeff kept saying. I think the last sentence is just a deep cut. It's rude. I don't think it's aggressive at all to send a DM. I didn't think it was disrespectful. That last sentence, like I said, was rude. I don't know that it's a disrespectful type thing. Knowing that they've had this, or Jade, according to Jade Catapretta, knowing that her and Justin Martindale have had this years-long feud, like openly, like they both know apparently that they don't like each other. She definitely said he knew he was going to be upset that she was even at Chumpmas, like almost like encroaching on his whatever. What I kept saying all along is, yeah, he was the one that was invited to do the 10 or 15-minute set. So why was he upset about him? Michael Riley says, clawing comedians. Yeah, I definitely want to know your thoughts, because now knowing all of this and now knowing that he sent a DM to her, I'm curious why Justin Martindale was telling you he had no idea that he was involved in this. Like, I would think if I sent a DM like that, I would maybe have an idea of what happened. I didn't love that Evan called in and said they ruined our holidays. I do agree, though, that it can very much hurt Justin's reputation and his work, them calling him a virus, that he doesn't work well with other people. But if that's Jeff's truth, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Jet says, well, Justin had an expiration date, just like all of Jeff's past friends. They all go away eventually. Thank you, IB Duck, asking people to give a thumbs up for me. I really appreciate it. Let me put the ticker on with our phone number, if I can get it right. It is 713-489-8488. You should be able to call in. Also, this is only live, so 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time when I'm live. It doesn't work. I think you can leave a voicemail, which I can always read. You can email me at asksarahfromtexas@gmail.com. And it should work. I was going to say something. I don't know what I was going to say. Anyways, it doesn't work any other time that we're, not live. So anyways, I do have it on. Hopefully I will figure out the technology. Also, if I'm live talking to someone else, if you can wait and call right back whenever I hang up with that person, because trust me, it's not like 10 people going to call at the same time. Okay. I liked Bob Guinea on the show. What I wanted to talk about yesterday is Jeff kind of subtly mentions that there's this condo that is available, no, he didn't say 2 bedroom. He just said 1,900 or 1,400 square feet for Brogan and Shane. But he mentions that he was going to buy it, put it in his name, redo it, and then possibly sell it to Brogan and Shane, which would be at a much higher price, right? Like, I don't know. I didn't understand. If Brogan comes from money, if I had enough money to help my kids get a condo in their name, I would much rather do that than my son's boyfriend's boss. You know what I mean? Because if he spends all this time and energy in money redoing the condo, it's going to be sold at a much higher price. Maybe that's outpriced Brogan and Shane. I don't know. I don't think I've met Shane's parents. They're lovely. I don't think they're exactly poor. I have no idea how much money they would have. And it's not even about the money. Some people don't want to help. So I don't know what their situations are. I just think it gets very tricky when it would be, Shane's boss doing it, anyone's boss, whether you're in this business or not. You know what I mean? Rebecca says, I'm an unconditional fan of Jeff, but wish he kept this feud quiet. He loves the drama too much, I guess. I also didn't like that I could feel at the beginning that Jade was like, oh, I didn't want anyone to know. I didn't want this to get out. But then she's like, but I told a couple of people and they immediately told you. I think she could have absolutely said, keep my name out of this, if she absolutely didn't want it to happen, especially if he got Sirius XM Human Resources involved like he said he did. Again, I have no idea what the truth is. We only know what Jeff Lewis says on the radio. So, but it seems like she was very much leaning into, I don't want to use the word victim. She was very much leaning into the woe is me afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, that's Evan. Oh gosh. Oh, now that's Justin. I mean, I don't know. Jet says, Sarah, do you really think Heather McDonald's story has to do with Justin? Absolutely. Absolutely. Heather McDonald, I put it up on my Instagram. She put up karma is a bitch or something like that. Obviously, y'all know that I am blocked by Heather McDonald, but a couple of y'all put it, or somebody put it in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. Let's see. Lewis says, karma's a bitch. Now, why the snowy stuff? I don't know. Why the snowy mountains? I have no idea. But definitely. Oh. And then she put the JoJo Siwa song, which is funny because doesn't Justin make fun of JoJo Siwa all the time? Is that him? Yeah, he absolutely does. AUS Fly Girl says the whole thing was so sophomoric, very hurtful to people and their careers. No private adult conversation. Even if it's an entertainment, this still is a work setting at a big corporation. Yeah. I can't imagine Justin would want to come. If what they said was that Justin and Jeff had a conversation yesterday, let's see if Justin is still following Jeff Lewis. Yeah, Justin is still following Jeff Lewis. Let's see if Jeff Lewis is still following him. I'm assuming he hasn't. I don't think. Yeah, they're still following each other on Instagram. Jade Catapretta said as soon as she got the DM, sorry, that she had blocked Justin. But the big thing to me, the huge thing to me, is that they had this ongoing tiff, like more than a tiff. Like they absolutely knew that they didn't like each other, which is fine. And I guess that's where the chatter came from. I don't really know. He does unburn a bridge. That's the problem. He goes back and forth. Jet says Jeff never unburns a bridge. He's only a one way out, very binary. I don't know. Mayboo says, do you think Pole and Patrick could be some of the other 7 people? I don't know, but I was very, very possibly. I don't know. I haven't talked to them about it, what have you, but very possibly. And I've heard this from a lot that most of y'all would rather Justin stay on the show than Jade Catapretta. But again, that's where we get into is everyone has different, fans. Everyone likes different people, right? Julie said, I would like to know what other chumps had input regarding Justin, because right now this looks real bad on Jeff. Yeah, and I think he's known for being like 7, and then it'd be like, well, it was a couple. Well, 7 is not a couple. A couple to me is 3. A few, a couple is 2, a few is 3, several is 4. I mean, 7 is, quite a big number. So I don't know. Cheryl Crow says Justin hurt Joey's feelings too. Yeah, that's definitely one that I guess the big thing is for me, what I'm hearing about Chump Medicine, I have no idea if I wasn't there, is they're saying that Justin really stood away from everyone, even the chumps, Jeff's inner circle friends, and maybe left right after his set. So I guess anyone that maybe wanted to see him for VIP didn't get a chance to see him and take a picture for him at all. I mean, I agree. Tiffany Chump says she spiced up today's show. And you remember how we said the other day that they swapped out who they were going to have on? I feel like that was no accident too, right? It's like they pulled in Jade knowing that they were going to, you know what I mean? So I don't know who they swap out. I feel like they swapped out, I don't know. They swapped out some people this way. Has Ryan Bailey said anything about this? I feel like he probably won't. I don't know. Is it Kaki or Kaki Hardy? Kaki says Ryan Bailey said Justin has always been nice to him and lovely. But have Ryan and Justin been on as much as they used to be on together? I don't feel like they have been, but I have no idea. I have a feeling nobody will stand. Kaki, thank you so much. I have an idea that nobody will stand up for him either way. You know what I mean? Yes, KB503 says it also sounds like Zach Noe Towers and Michael Beck might have had something to say about Justin as well. Well, it definitely sounds like Jade Catapretta is good enough friends with Michael Beck, really good friends, and good enough friends with Zach Noe Towers to share this with. So my experience is if I'm choosing to share something with someone about someone in particular, I'm probably going to do that with someone that I don't think is their biggest fan or their best friend, right? So I know nothing about Justin Martindale's relationships with Michael Beck or Zach Noe Towers. But if I were Jade in that situation, I wouldn't be picking people that were Justin's biggest fans to share this with, because I would want to pick people that might be on my side, correct? That's just kind of human nature. Nobody knows what goes on behind the scenes, Tiffany Chump says. Yeah, for sure. Southern Belle says, Michael, do you think it's Justin now? Anyways, we'll call in if you want to. If not, get comfortable in comments. 713-489-8488. Denise says, Justin is quality. Jade is a flash in the pan. I mean, she's been around 15 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm assuming. Shay says Annie must have felt awkward being in the room when this call happened with Evan. Yeah. Kaki says the nail in the coffin was putting it in writing as an HR person. Yeah, and that last sentence was so unnecessary, and it was, rude and catty, you know what I mean? For sure. Yes. Southern Belle Cell says, I'm late. Do we have it confirmed? Yes, they definitely confirmed that it was Justin Martindale, and the female he sent a DM to was Jade Catapretta. Thank you, Eliana. What do you think of Bob Guinea? I think he was very good, very light. He kind of chimed in on the drama of Jade and them today for sure. Um, Again, it's about 35 minutes into the first hour of today's show whenever they talk about it. She was at first saying there's room for all comics, but they definitely have had issues for years. He has definitely said some things. She said she's never said anything. This is all what we're hearing on her side. So we don't know what Justin's side is because clearly Evan called in his fiance, not Justin, right? The fact that they ended up being on a flight together from Atlanta to LA or wherever it was yesterday, crazy. I mean, Jade and her girlfriend were on a flight together, and then Justin and Evan were on the same flight together. I mean, that's crazy. And I felt like they were all in the Dustin. So I'm reading other stuff. The Delta Lounge too together, right? Deja Monet says, I feel like Justin wanted to keep some personal distance between himself and the chumps. Jeff Lewis was very offended that Justin kept his engagement private. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, Claire says, I hope today's show, hold on. Hope today's show gets uploaded onto YouTube this weekend or I'll miss it. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Whoever they're doing, I mean, I can't imagine why they're doing it because it gets taken down all the time for copyright infringement. You know what I mean? Candace says, Evan did not smooth it over. He threw fuel on the fire. I agree. And I didn't like, he kind of maybe got nervous, but he was kind of, wasting time with like, oh, we went on a trip. We were together for 3 weeks. She ruined our vacation. I wish he would have said, I don't know. It wasn't for him to call in and say that what Justin should have said or not said in that DM or anything he said in years past or said to other people, maybe ruining the vibe of anyone, especially in such a tight-knit group where they do things like Universal, cooking kibitz, private parties, things like that. You know what I mean? So Khaki says also you should never put your hands in anyone's face. And I definitely think that is like the physical part of it of like, where Jeff was definitely saying, like, as a female, they shouldn't have, he shouldn't have said all of this too. But I think for a man or a woman, I really don't like when males or females or anyone gets any kind of special treatment per se. Like, I feel like nobody should put their hands in someone in an offensive way. You know what I mean? What else? Heather McDonald, Karma's a bitch. I mean, she's going to be all over this for sure. I wasn't sure when I said this last week if like Justin and her would like trauma bond over this or if she would just, so now we know she's just like good riddance basically. What else? Okay, definitely got lots of thoughts on the buying a condo. I think that's crazy. Denise Richards and her husband Aaron were on today. She's on this TV show Special Forces that comes on soon. Couldn't really tell us much about it. It's a reality show filmed in Wales. She's got a brand new family reality show. She's been on before TV too. Hello. Hello. Doreen. Gosh. This is someone that's been trying to call in and I talked to them yesterday. Let me see if we can. I don't know how to. Anyways, she's been trying to figure out the technology of calling in, so we'll see. Leandra says Justin Martindale is hysterical. Jeff's making another giant mistake. Jeff takes meanness to another level. He burns bridges unnecessarily. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, it's Sarah from Texas. Did you mean to call?
Oh, yes, Sarah, this is Doreen.
Hi, how are you?
Yes. I still can't believe you called me yesterday. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I could tell that this number kept calling after the show had ended. And she left a quick voicemail and she was like, it's Doreen. I'm trying to figure out how to work this. So I just called her and she was like, oh my gosh. So then you spilled all the juice to me. It was really good and gave me all of her thoughts.
Anyway, but I just feel bad now for Justin today.
What'd you think of the DM though? Honestly.
Honestly, I know it shouldn't have been done. I know.
But do you think it should have been handled between Justin and Jade?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking Jeff's I think Jeff, I don't know. I just love Jeff, but I think this one, I don't know. I feel bad though. I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking it was going to be MJ. I don't know why.
Oh, the text was the DM was going to be to MJ.
No, the virus was going to be MJ.
Oh yeah, except whenever he said it was a he. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I must have missed that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know if I'm on the air. See, I've got you.
You are.
I am.
Yeah, you're on our YouTube live.
Because I'm listening to you right now. I'm on YouTube and you're talking about something else. But anyway.
Maybe it's on delay, not sure.
Yeah, but anyway, but thank you. Happy New Year and all the good stuff, and you're doing a fantastic job as always.
Thank you, Doreen. Talk to you later.
Okay, Sarah. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I hope y'all can hear those calls. I am trying to put it up, and then a lot of you said that you can hear, so I'm not sure. Krista says, is Jeff's loyalty is Jeff's love language. It's the level of loyalty required by a dictator. Oh, gosh. I mean, I don't know. I think it might be too late. Khaki said, if Justin was smart, he should come back in March and say, maybe I handled it poorly. After hearing the DM, I do think he handled it poorly, especially that last sentence. I do think it was not nice to say, as a comedian, you kind of know, let's play it one more time. I think a lot of people were joining in at the very beginning. This is the DM, as Jade Catapretta says Justin sent to her, that started all of this. So let's listen.
He wrote, hey, if you could not stand up in the middle of my set and twirl around and try to steal focus during one of my jokes, that would be great. That was completely unprofessional, and you being a comic should definitely understand that. There was a reason why I was asked to be on stage and you weren't.
So that's the part that I have the problem with, is there's a reason I was asked to be on stage and you weren't. Like, that's just the cutting part. You know what I mean? But the standing up, as they've said, I was not there, but I have seen Kelly stand up and say hi. I've seen Rick, Paul and Patrick stand up and say hi to people. I don't think that's unusual. It was a set at Chumpmas. It wasn't necessarily his real comedy set. You know what I mean? It was part of Chumpmas, So, Tracy says that's not an HR violation. So yeah, it's mean, but it's also true, Jessica says. Oh, there really was? Wait, Tiffany, call in. Tiffany Chump says there was a real heckler in the crowd. That's who Justin should have sent a DM. Wow, because we know there was one last time. A couple of them they talked about on the radio and different shows and such. So I don't know. Do they get paid? Yes, I think they do, Khaki. Khaki says, do they get paid to perform at Chumpmas? And I want to say, I definitely think they do. I definitely think they do get paid. I feel like I've seen it in like commercials or something, the commercial breaks, when they say, oh, and you'll get paid. If they come and they're in the audience as they call them the audience as a chump, like a free ticket, I don't think they're paid. But if they're on stage, if they're in the audience, if they're working, then yeah, because Jeff has pretty much said I don't have the clip where Evan called in. It was at the very end of the show, and Jeff at first didn't realize it was really Evan calling in. It was, and he basically went over that, you know, they had just gotten engaged and they both proposed to each other. They were on this 3-week trip, and oh yeah, awesome. And yeah, like a personal appearance fee, Veronica. Yeah, but I just don't feel like I don't feel like it warranted. I don't feel like it was as big a deal as it was made into. I don't like that it was kind of piled on by like, oh, all these other people have a problem with it. Because that can really, whether or not it was a good idea or not, that brings up things that haven't been made public. And this wasn't made public either because Jade didn't make it public. She told a couple of people. And then, you know, Michael Beck is a producer. He's thinking of the show. You know, Jeff is always thinking of the show. He's not thinking of, you know, they definitely wanted this on the radio for sure. Okay, so Denise Richards, back to the second hour of the show. They are going to have a new reality show. We don't know what network it's on yet, but it is with Alex Baskin with Bravo, who is huge. I guess it's called 32 Flavors or whatever it's called. It's his own reality production company that Jeff Lewis has admitted working with, that Shaws of Sunset has admitted working with. I just, you know, having like the 20-year-old and the 19-year-old as a viewer, I want to see it, and then the 13-year-old, but as a mom, I don't know that I want them on. Mainly the 13-year-old, you know what I mean? That's on there. Well, they didn't date. So Shay says someone said somewhere that Stu and Justin once dated. Justin said that he and Stu had a date one time, like years ago. And I feel like I'm going on memory, so I could completely be wrong here. I feel like he said Stu showed up and just walked by him. And like they just never talked, which is weird because they're both good looking guys. You know what I mean? So I have no idea, but they definitely didn't date per se, as far as dating for sure. Jessica says, we truly don't know the history between Jade and Justin. And I don't like that Jeff just threw Justin under the bus when truly most of us listeners do enjoy having him on the show. Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is my problem with it. Liz and the Bee says, Jade knew what she was doing, distracting from Justin's set too, in my opinion. That's my problem, is that if she knew, okay, so there's friends. If I'm a chump, which I'm not, if I'm Pole, this is really a stretch. If I'm Pole and Patrick, my partner of 20 plus years, is up on stage at Chumpmas, we are both heavily involved in the Chump group. We do things. We're friends with Jeff, all the things. If he says something about my OnlyFans, then it's funny to stand up and show my butt. They're obviously in a relationship for 20 plus years. Now that it comes out that Jade has admitted she's had years long of Justin talking shit about her and no good relationship at all, that was, I don't know if she was just trying to go along with it as if they have no problems, or if she was kind of edging into it and she knew she was going to distract from his set and maybe mess him up. Like, I don't know. I can kind of see both sides to it. But all I'm saying is that to me brings up a history of it that we now know Jade and Justin very knowingly both didn't like each other. It was not a secret at all. Oh yeah, Debbie says, I loved listening when Justin was on, but I'm not a fan of Jade's. I just don't know that she adds anything. I think a lot of the hosts are on so often now that they tell the old same stories. They just sit there and like nothing is going on. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily think it's a Jade thing. I think a lot of the co-hosts are on so often. Like even when he announced next week's lineup, and some of the people haven't been on in forever, I'm like, oh, okay, I would like to know what's going on with them. Lord knows, I hope something fun has happened though. You know what I mean? Like I hope they have a story to tell. They've lived life. They've gone on a trip. Something has happened, you know. It's not just whatever. Raquel says it's obvious they didn't get along before, and then Joey also having his feelings hurt add more to it. Is Joey and Jade Catapretta really good friends? Because if so, this could be like the Justin and John Hill thing. Also, John Hill's going to feel really in the middle of all this, right? Like the Kelly Dodd. I mean, Kelly Dodd and John Hill, that ship has sailed of anything. They're just not people at all. Yeah, Lauren Lake and Zach Noe Towers, are they on again next week? Because they've been on a lot. Sarah Colonna's been on a lot. And I think Sarah Colonna had to fill in for someone. I feel like she had to come in. There's been a couple of last minute changes lately, and I feel like she was a fill-in at one point for something. Oh, Dory says, I believe Jade did this on purpose. Like a whole master plan, Dory? Like, really? Like she planned this out and thought it would get this big? Oh, I don't know about that. But I also don't know that she shared it with those people, especially Michael Beck, thinking it wouldn't get out. Because I think if she absolutely didn't want this out, she could say, look, I'll deny it. I'll never admit it, whatever. I am not going on the radio with this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Shay says, all these new chumps think it will never be them. Little do they know, Jeff does not give a damn about anyone. Says I would not a master plan, just a way to jab Justin, Liz in the B says. Jet says, of course she filled in because she has zero going on in her life except booze and peddling cheap handbags on Jeff Lewis Live. Y'all are so cruel. Oh my gosh. I do think, yes, Renee, without these feuds, Jeff Lewis Live show is a real snoozer. I've definitely heard that from other people. And I admit it did spark some interest. It was like, okay, who is it? Why isn't he saying, you know, like when he didn't say anything about it yesterday, I was like, is he going to drop this? Because he has said stuff and then just dropped it. And, you know, I've been on the other side of that where I'm like, no, don't drop this. Like when I call and tell you the facts, go out and say, hey, Sarah said this never happened. You know what I mean? So, but people don't tend to listen to that part. They just hear the first part that he says about someone. So, yeah, Tiffany Chump says they got the people talking for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's chat a little bit. Y'all keep talking in comments. Y'all know I love it. If you want to call in, please do. While we're live, 713-489-8488. I keep thinking I have the technology right. Yeah, I think that worked. Yes. Okay. I did watch episode 2 of Sold on Salt Lake City yesterday. I'm going to finish up episode 3. I think it starts again in a few weeks or in a week or so. They kind of introduced Kenny, this other more existing realtor. Matt and Kenny go and take like a bath in the river together, like in 45-degree weather. I have no idea why. They both have great dad bods for sure. Just thought it seemed odd. Then they just have a chat with their wet bodies in 45-degree weather. I was like, oh my God. No one so far, I've watched 2 full episodes. No one else shows up to their events, to their open houses, to their brokers opens, but people in this Presidio real estate, the one that Jennifer owns, like the only people I ever see show up, just like every real reality show. Tina's girl, I don't think it's fiance, girlfriend, live-in girlfriend, Tina hosts a birthday party for her. And the only people that show up, or the only people they show, of course, we don't know if they have real friends or not, but is the realtors and the families, the wives, the spouses, and the kids of the realtors at Presidio. And I was kind of like, is anything else going to happen? Now, somebody said they've watched all 3 episodes. It gets really good at the end of episode 3. There was like a cliffhanger, so I can't wait to find time to watch that. It's definitely very Mormon heavy. So I love kind of weaving that in, because I did love more Mom Talk. I do love Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm looking forward to season 2 of Mom Talk. So, and they're just like they all seem like late 20s, maybe early 30s. So I love, like I said yesterday, that they're not necessarily all rich and living in these fabulous houses. They're all kind of, yeah, they've got money. They're definitely not struggling, I don't feel like, but they also talk about real things like, hey, that the business is this and it's not, as good as it used to be. I'm not watching Southern Charm. I think I would love it. I used to watch it, or I know enough about it, but I'm not into it because I feel like I missed a couple of seasons. I just love Miss Pat so much. You know what I mean? So, anyways, oh wait, what? Robin says I'm flying today from San Antonio. Oh, you're so near me. Hello, just a few hours away, Robin. By the way, I did see somebody post under an Instagram comment or something of mine saying, "Oh, I live in such and such, and I don't have any chumps near me." If you want to get together and meet other people that love celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live, all the gossip, post in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group and say, hey, I'm in Indianapolis. Hey, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and just see who else lives there. I mean, all we can do is try to find people, right? Because trust me, a couple of years ago, I put out, hey, I'm in Houston. Does anyone want to get together for dinner? Like 5 or 6 of us said we were coming, and one showed up, Kim. And I've been friends with her ever since, just had dinner, or we kind of had lunch, I think. We had lunch a few weeks ago at Papa's, her and Diane. We've traveled together. We've chatted. Oh, yeah. See, Skinny Pants says that was me. I live in Carson City. So if you are listening here or watching as a replay and you live near or in Carson City, go to the Sarah from Texas Facebook group and meet up with Skinny Pants. I promise you, it is so fun to find your people because, I've lived in the Houston area all my life, but I feel like no one is invested like I am in my circle of friends. So they just, they might tolerate me, but they definitely don't want to chat. And they definitely don't know everything. Like I felt like when Kim and I met, we knew everything. We knew all the history of flipping out. We knew the history of Bravo, the OG New York housewives, the Atlanta housewives. We knew all the sayings on Jeff Lewis Live. I mean, it was so fun, and it's so fun to get together with her. Jet says, I wish you could send us a picture. Wait, what did Jet say? Is it snowing there? Is that what she means? Anyways, yes, Mayboo says, love the name Skinny Pants. Yeah, I wish I was in Skinny Pants. I'm in some very comfy, brand new sweatpants from Marshall's. This is a shirt that I got off TikTok shop. It says, you matter. It's so soft. I love it, but I can't see basically the back of it is to be read by someone that's behind you. And it basically says something like, if you're reading this, just know that you're loved. It's a really cute t-shirt. I wore it to Fiesta, Texas one time a couple summers ago, and it was really sweet. Khaki says, Sarah, are you watching Sister Wives? Again, that's another show I've had to give up on. I can't with Cody. But my girl, Sarah Fraser, recaps Sister Wives like crazy. So check out the Sarah Fraser show. She's amazing. Shoes and Makeup Girl says, so Justin was the virus. Yep. Mayboo says, Sarah, do you think Jeff's never been the same since the Chef Stu breakup? No, I think Jeff's very much the same. Like, people used to tell me, oh, Jeff is so different from flipping out. In all due respect, I don't see that at all. I really don't. Like, I think he's still very regimented. I think he's still very, business oriented. I think, I don't know. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I think all celebrities have become aware, and Jeff has mentioned this, things we said and did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even on reality TV or radio, you can't say or do anymore. Like, you'll get canceled. There will be ramifications for that professionally. So, I don't know that he's personally changed. I just think he's well aware, like a lot of celebrities, hey, there's things I can't say and do, so I need to adjust myself, right? I felt like she was too. I felt like there was a change out. Robin says Jade was invited last minute to the show, and I remember seeing her standing up during the Justin segment. And she just showed her butt, right? Like, it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's, for her to do. I don't know. What else? What other questions do you have? It can be about anything. Maybe I think he did change a bit after Stu. Seems it changed him some, Jet says. In what ways? Like, tell me. I'm not really sure. Oh, Sherry says he just doesn't yell and scream. It's all done calmly and calculating. Yeah. 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 Maybe. For sure. I think he apologizes more. Maybe we just didn't see the apologies on flipping out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. Mayboo says, did Kelly Dodd mention it today on her show? They go live on Fridays. I don't really know. Oh, good question. Southern Belle Cells does. Sarah, do you have a 6-bedroom home for all the kids? No. Where I live, 6-bedroom houses is not common at all. At all. And it's not that common nowadays also to have 5 kids all close in age. But no, we have a 5-bedroom house. So we always had one set of kids that shared a room. And with 4 daughters, they've all shared a room at least a little bit, if that makes sense. Yeah, at least a little bit. The son has always had his own room. And he's got the biggest bedroom upstairs. He's got our bedrooms are huge. Maybe not huge. His bedroom is definitely very big. Debbie says words mean nothing. Actions mean everything. Anyone can apologize. Oh, well, that's true. So if you don't change your whatevers. Jet says, I think maybe Jeff's just more impervious. Ooh, losing fancy words. After Stu, like it hardened his heart and he's stronger. Y'all know now I've come clean. I knew Stu a lot more than I ever let on. And I never thought, and I still don't think Stu ever used Jeff or was in it for anything other than truly loving Jeff. I really don't. I thought they were a great fit because Stu enjoyed being on the radio. He was mostly okay with all the personal information. I don't know that Jeff is ever he had a lot of free time. So it's like, I feel like in some instances you can't be good enough for Jeff. I mean, he's got it, he's pretty much a stickler. So Stu had this kind of part-time, I don't know what he does now, but he had this part-time hours chef job, but it paid, I guess, to maintain his lifestyle. But that also gave enough freedom for Jeff to be with him. But the thing is, Stu worked when Jeff was off work. So there was some times where I think Jeff wanted more time for him. But I think anyone that Jeff wants to be as professional and in their careers and set up financially enough for him is not going to have the time available for him either, because those kinds of jobs are going to be people that work a hell of a lot of hours. You know what I mean? So I feel like, Stu did put down boundaries when there was things he didn't want talked about him, but he also let a lot of jokes and a lot of things slide that I don't think most people, especially if Jeff is upping his age, like Jeff is 54, if he is going to date late 40s, early 50s, I don't feel like that kind of age and professional person is going to go for them talking about peeing on the floor. They're going to be like, do not, like, that is not for radio. So I don't know. Robin says Stu has all the friends, Megan, Brandy, and Julie. So, yeah. So, Debbie says, I don't really like when I don't really like the show when Jeffrey comes out. It's like watching Psycho over and over. uh, yeah, Robin says, I was impressed that he pitched his book. It was his idea. Yeah, so it was, I guess he'd had a book before that. I own that book too now. I think it's way up there. Anyways, you can't see it. But there's a couple of books up there. And the wine from Hideaway Low that I never opened. I guess I should really give that away to somebody. I think it's signed. Is it signed by Jeff Lewis? I think one of them was signed. I don't even know. You know, I don't drink wine. Yeah, they weren't necessarily my people. I thought they were very yeah, I don't know. The STD thing, like I said, you know, we'll never know. I knew some insight to that that never made sense to me. So I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Jessica says, do you know why Annie stopped working for Stu? No idea if Annie stopped working for Stu or if Stu didn't need her services in again. I have no idea. I know my situation with Annie only, so I don't know anyone else's personal or professional situation with her. Yeah, Debbie says it's so tacky of Jeff to tell that on air. You don't do that to someone. And I agree that Jeff is like, I'm an open book. I tell everything. I would definitely, Claire says, I'd like Jeff to have Kathy Hilton on the show. I think she'd be fantastic. I mean, and we know she's a fan because she started following me. And I'm like, wait, why is Kathy Hilton following me on Instagram? And then remember when I used to go live on Instagram, it said she has joined, and we were like, wait, what? And she was talking to us in comments. So yeah, see, Kathy Hilton follows me. Sarah from Texas. The lighting is so bad in here. Anyways, and I said, would you come on Jeff Lewis Live? And she said yes. And I'm like, ah, but you know, maybe she needs it to be a little bit later time. We are available to do any advice stuff too, or you can email, or you can call 713-489-8488. Yes, Jen Helen says, Kathy isn't a morning person, maybe a pre-taped show. Yeah, they could do her as a pre-tape show. They need to, okay, they don't do pre-tape shows very often, pretty much only when the studio is closed, and they'll do 2 in one day. But he does need to think about people that would maybe come on that are in town that just like to do the later ones, the later shows. Like, he hasn't had Nikki on in a long time. The lady that would come, Big Nikki, the one that would come on with Josh Flagg. I don't know. She hasn't been on a long time, right? Wait. Robin says Jeff is a POS. Why do you say that? You can't just say that. We got to know what you mean. What are you talking about? Liz and the Bee says, I'm sure Kathy could use that $500. I mean, exactly right. Jet says he doesn't have those older socialites on too much, like that one that Josh brought, or Candy Spelling. Yeah, Candy Spelling hasn't been on in a long time. I don't know. I thought they were good. And I would like, yeah, Nikki Haskell. I would like more to come on to give us a little more. But yeah, 4 is a lot to have on for sure. So Skinny Pants says Jeff has control issues, and that's what made him popular for TV. He brings the drama. Yeah, I mean, let's not be, you know, it's great to act like we don't know anything about that, but that's what brings the drama. That's what makes people that don't normally listen to Jeff Lewis see one of my videos and then be like, oh, wait, tell me about the drama. They don't want to hear about like a seemingly boring episode today with Denise Richards and her husband, Aaron. For the most part, that was a boring issue that I could have, you know, chatted about for, oh, they want you to call in, Michael. Can Michael call in? Should I just call him? We'll force him to be on. Let's see. Hold on. Michael. Hold on. Let's see if he answers. Tori Spelling hasn't been on a long time either, and she probably could use the $500, sadly. Is Michael even on in comments today? Maybe he's busy.
Are you calling me?
Yes. Are you available to chat?
I'm here. I'm here.
People are begging for you, Michael Riley.
Oh, honey, that's so nice.
They are. And I said, is he even in comments? Is he even available? And they're like, call him, Michael. I'm like, wait, what? I said, let's just call him.
All right. Well, here I am. What's going on?
Tell us about Justin. I know you have thoughts.
I think he was probably embarrassed. And, you forget how young some of these people are, too.
Okay.
You're dealing with, like, how old's Justin? Like, he's in his early 30s?
I don't know. I would think young 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what does anybody know in the young 30s? Everybody
Right.
was stupid.
Yeah.
So, writing stuff down and sending it and being catty. Now, of course, we did not know. I never heard of this Jade character before at all. And we didn't know they had a past history. I mean, if we had that information, we could have put 2 and 2 together with a little bit more of a puzzle, and then Evan never should have called. I mean, everything was poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should never have gotten involved.
Do you feel like Jade had the opportunity to tell Jeff, hey, I do not want this public at all. I don't want to chat about this at all. Or do you think she got very excited when it did
I think Jade
leak out?
Is ecstatic. And she told Michael Beck for one reason only.
Yeah.
To come back to Jeff. Not even a question. Everybody does these calculated things. Now, some of it's stupid, but it's still, they think it's planned.
Yeah.
It's a poor plan, but they think it's planned.
Well, do you think it's going to do well for her? Do you think people are going to be like, oh, because I definitely think she played into the victim mentality towards the end when Jeff especially was like, oh, as a female, you should have never gotten. Oh, he's 41, Jules said. So that kind of changes it a little bit for me.
Well, then he should have been smarter.
It's not a baby, right, Jules? Yeah.
Yeah. No, not a baby. But Jade, no, I have no interest in her. Never heard of her. She has no appeal to me. So
can you tell?
Go ahead.
Can you tell us if you've talked to Justin since the show aired today?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Yeah.
I have not. I think, I think he's probably embarrassed, and I think he probably knew it was going to come out, and he probably didn't want to get into it. And I think probably, sometimes when you write something down and you send it, the minute you send it, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But that's that comedic world. They're all so competitive. I mean, all these people are competitive.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the job. Whatever the job is, they want the job.
Right, and they want a seat next to Jeff Lewis. It's like the reunion. Right. They want a seat next to Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Very interesting.
So, it's sad, but this is the way things go, and what are you going to do? And there'll be more people, but, the thing is, he's going to run out of talent. Sometimes you have to weigh the talent versus the bullshit,
Yeah.
Weigh the talent. And certainly Justin was a lot more talented. Yeah, he comes with all his quirks, but who doesn't?
Yeah. And even Robin said, I think Jade created the drama. So
yes, she did, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Very interesting.
But nobody wants to be heckled like that, or hey, look at me and all that, that went on.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
And no one even knows who the girl is. That's the real funny part, No one even knows who she is. Stupid Justin gave her a platform now for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you think about it, I would have said nothing, because this is what, everybody wants to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
That's why she jumped up and down.
Yeah. Oh, Jet.
And he fed right into it.
Michael, Jed is asking, do you go to the Jeff Lewis live events?
No, I do not. No, These people are great at a distance, but I just don't have the interest.
I understand. Well, thank you for taking my call. Hopefully
All
we'll
right,
chat
I
next
love you
week.
all.
Adore you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he definitely stays from a distance for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining live. If you're listening as a replay, tell us what you think in comments. We definitely want to hear what you think. Make sure you follow me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast, and we will see you Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Bye, y'all. Oh, everyone's saying we love you, Michael. I love that so much.